say a potato. I'm real starchy.
I wish I found some better sounds no one's ever heard. I wish I had a better voice that sang some better words. I wish I found some chords in an order that is new. I wish I didn't have to rhyme every time I sang. I was told when I get older all my fears would shrink, but now I'm insecure and I care what people think.
My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think.
Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. We're stressed out. Sometimes a certain smell will take me back to when I was young. How come I'm never able to identify where it's coming from? I'd make a candle out of it if I ever found it. Try to sell it, never sell out of it. I'd probably only sell one. Maybe to my brother, cause we have the same nose, same clothes, homegrown, a stone's throw from a creek we used to roam. But it would remind us of when nothing really mattered. Out of student loans and treehouse homes, we all would take the ladder.
My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think.
Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we'd fly it far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, wake up, you need to make money. Yeah. We used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we'd fly it far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, wake up, you need to make money. Yeah. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out.
Used to play pretend bunny. We used to play pretend, wake up, you need the money. Used to play pretend bunny. We used to play pretend, wake up, you need the money. Used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we fly far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, wake up, you need to make money.
What's up, FWC Youth? Hey, this is Pastor Devin, and I know this is different. This is the first time you have seen your youth pastor. We have not had a chance to meet yet. It's very unfortunate. I hate it, but we all understand the circumstances that we are under right now. So until we get to meet again, I am so excited for what's to come, because we are not going to stop. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. We're going to be, stay tuned for Zoom calls. We're going to be doing weekly contests. We're going to be doing everything. We're still going to be involved in your life. So just because we cannot meet at a church building does not mean that we are going to quit having church. We're going to keep having church. So just stay tuned. I'm so excited. We've been planning everything that we can to make your experience the best experience during this pandemic and after this pandemic. It's going to be so fun. Before we get started, though, I just wanted to say a few things. I am so honored that I get to be your youth pastor. I'm so thankful that Pastor Johnny and Pastor Diane brought us in to be your youth pastors. It's an incredible opportunity. We're so excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. But before we go even any further, this is what I need you to do. If you are on Facebook and you're watching this, I need you to please share this video, and we'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. You should have shared it, and now you should be watching us. So like I said, my name is Devin. I'm the new youth pastor here, and I got some cool cats and kittens right here beside me, and we're going to, let's just hear from them. Introduce yourself, babe.
Hi, I'm Storm. I was born and raised in Thomasville, Georgia. Born in Cairo, Georgia, raised in Thomasville, and moved to Washington. Was there for 4 whole years, and moved back to Thomasville last week.
Hey, Storm, before we go, wasn't it, the question was, if you had a superpower, which one would it be?
Ooh,
You can answer this too.
remind me of the superpowers.
Any superpower.
I would like to be able to be invisible.
Ooh, invisible. Invisible Storm. All right, young Mike, what's up, man?
Oldest person on the panel. Mike. My name is Michael Brown. I am from Savannah. I actually really like Thomasville because it reminds me of Savannah. So I like going to Thomasville, yeah. So, do I need you to know my superpower too?
Yeah, I think the people would love to hear that.
I don't know, to be honest with you. I guess I would just go with the old cliche, flying. I'd like to be able to fly.
You like to fly. That is so cool. So cool.
My name is Anna, and I am from Cairo. I was born and raised here. I'm the only one of my family members that was born in Cairo, so that's really neat. They all like to claim it as their hometown, but really it's mine.
Wow, that is so cool. That is so cool. Are you going to share, earlier you were telling us about your blue hair.
Oh, yes. Devin asked me a fun fact, and so I told him I used to have blue hair. Not like full blue hair, that was just only on the ends.
If you think Anna should go back to having blue hair, just go ahead and drop that in the comments, and we'll get that thing going. All right. Hey, before we get into the questions, there's a few things coming up. Like I mentioned earlier, we're going to have Zoom calls. We're going to be having contests, but we're going to be doing a giveaway. We're going to be doing a giveaway of a gift card to the one and the only Mr. Chick. Hey, Storm, can you please give them the details on how they can win this gift card?
Yes, to win this gift card, you must go to the last post that is on FWC Youth page. It's FWC_youth.
Yep.
And on that post, you must tag 10 friends. 10 friends.
10.
Not 1, not 2.
Not 9.
But 10.
10.
Tag 10 friends. And then on Friday, we're going to go live again, and we are going to pick a winner.
And if you are the lucky winner, you get a free gift card to Mr. Chick. And if you don't know what Mr. Chick is, yeah.
You'll find out.
Yeah. But alrighty, so that's some fun stuff going on here in the next couple of weeks. But tonight, let's focus on tonight. Tonight, if you have any questions that you want us to answer throughout this panel, go ahead, drop it in the comments, and we have someone sending it here to Storm. She's going to be giving us the questions, and we have a few planned questions, but we want to answer the questions that you have. So if you have questions that you would like us to answer, go ahead, drop them in the comments. But until then, let's start it out with, I think, the best question, the most important question. This question right here, if you don't get anything from tonight, you're going to want to get this one. And the question is, we'll start with you, Anna. We're going to start with you. If the entire world shuts down, but only one fast food restaurant can stay open, which one should it be?
Mr. Chick.
What?
Yes, I picked Mr. Chick because Mr. Chick has the most diverse menu, and I get sick and tired of eating the same things every day. Like, I mean, if there's only one fast food restaurant and you have to eat the same thing for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I mean, I hope Mr. Chick would start serving breakfast first.
I was about to say, do they sell breakfast?
I mean, but I don't know. I mean, I guess I could eat a kitty strip for breakfast. I don't know. I'd have to change up my sauce a little bit. You know? I don't think I
Yeah.
could start the morning with like hot sauce.
Or,
know?
yeah,
Maybe like a honey mustard.
I ain't dipping Jason sauce in the
Yeah, but
morning.
their menu's so diverse. You could get like a steak on the weekend, or like a sandwich, or a wrap, or a salad even.
That's
For all
true.
you health eaters out there.
That's true. That is true, but not on my list. But still,
I'm not a big salad eater.
good point, though. Good point.
Yeah.
It is on your list, just not at the top of your list.
Right. It's
Just
probably.
in case you guys are watching.
It is in
It is
the-
on his list.
It is in the. It's
It
in
is
the top.
definitely not
Mr.
a
Chick.
priority.
Mr. Chick, if you're watching, it is in the top 5. I promise you.
We have eaten there 4 times this week. It should be on your list.
It
Very
is.
impressive.
Okay. Young Mike, what
So
you got,
is it-
man?
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it in the chicken family. I guess you have to, living in Cairo. I'm going to go with Maryland's.
Maryland's
Yeah,
boy.
Maryland. Well, I don't eat that a lot anyway, so I don't need a whole lot of diversity in my menu. So I'm not picky Nicky over here. So I'm just kidding. But yeah, so their smoked chicken's really good.
Man, Maryland, you just threw us a curveball. No one saw that coming. No one did. Maryland's. I mean, you got Wendy's, you got Dairy Queen, you got McDonald's, and you said Maryland's. But hey, more power to you, young Mike. Storm, what you got?
Local business, baby. Local business.
I was about
Support
to
local
say,
business.
Maryland's is not mine. I'm going to give you mine, but I'll have to say, Maryland's got some good chicken. You're sleeping on Maryland's. Anyways,
Apparently.
mine is the one, the only, the most blessed restaurant by God himself, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A. I have to go Chick-fil-A all day.
You know, it's funny. No one argues that.
No.
We're all
No.
like, yeah, that's a good,
You
that's a good
can't.
answer.
You really can't.
But I know there's some people out there that are waiting on this answer. I'll go ahead and say it.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
going to look.
group as-
Which camera should I look into? Well, I'm going to look right into this Instagram one right here. If the world shuts down and we only have one Zaxby's, that's it. I messed it up. Zaxby's.
Nice try,
Zaxby's.
nice
Zaxby's. Hey,
He got too excited, everyone. Good way to tell you.
He was just ready to get this out. I did have one thing come in on the Instagram that we all are sleeping on, and I have to 100% agree, and that's Dog World.
Dog World. Let's go.
We're all sleeping on Dog World.
What is Dog World?
Shout out to Dog World. I'm pretty sure it's the hot dog
It's
gas
a hot
station
dog.
place.
A hot dog gas station. Come
I
on.
don't think it's a gas station.
No gas
I think
station.
it's over there where Winn-Dixie used to, or no,
Harvey's.
Harvey's used
Yeah.
to be. What was
It's next to the
Winn-Dixie a
Verizon
long
place.
time ago?
Okay. I
Oh,
might have to go.
okay.
I might have to go. What's it called again?
Dog
Dog
World.
Dog World. I might have to go to Dog World tomorrow
Yeah, I thought
for
it was
lunch.
a pet store at first. I was like, why are you going there?
Yeah,
I was like, that's not good.
Do they serve chicken at Dog World?
I mean,
probably not.
I
Probably
doubt
not.
it.
If they sell chicken, I'm not getting it. So.
They do. He said they do. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm joking. We will get it. We will.
We'll
thanks
get
for letting us
chicken
know.
at
We gotta check
Dog
out Dog World.
But hey,
Does Mr.
Zach,
Chick have hot dogs?
let me. I
they
want to make my
don't.
case for Zaxby's. If
I do like Zaxby's. I'm
Zaxby's-
not going to let you be alone in that.
Thank you.
I do like Zaxby's.
Black and
I
blue
mean, you
salad.
hated
There-
on Mr. Chick pretty bad, but I do.
I love Mr. Chick. I apologize to Mr. Chick.
Yeah,
The-
Mr.
Chick, I
himself.
apologize. I love Mr. Chick. You have blessed me.
But I do.
So
I like
good.
Zaxby's. I really like their sweet and spicy.
If you get their chicken fingers dipped in hot honey mustard,
Oh, that
good
stuff is great.
God, it's so good. It is so good. But you got to dip it in ranch too after that. Oh, come on, somebody. Man, I think we're going to Zaxby's after
Can
this.
I just say I was raised in the projects, and so just give me some food. Like, can I just have some food? Is that cool with you? I don't care where it came from.
He'll have the ramen noodles.
Alrighty. So, cool. Let's get into some real questions. Am I missing anything?
Wait, that wasn't a real question?
Well, yeah, that was
I thought
that was the most important
question.
question. But let's get into some. Here's the first real question, and we'll start with you, Storm. How are you keeping your faith strong during a time such as this?
Well, this is such an unexpected time, so I've definitely had to learn to build some momentum around a time like this and keeping my faith strong, because it's so easy to get a little bit nervous about everything that's going on. So for me, I've been very consistent about staying in prayer. I think in the past I'd kind of, just prayed when, it was convenient for me. So here lately I've been more consistent about staying in prayer, listening to my worship music. I think my worship music is what gets me going in the morning and through the day.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You got to remind yourself. You got to throw on that worship song. I'm gonna see a victory, something like that. You gotta feed yourself. Anna, you want me to ask it again? How are you keeping yourself, or how are you keeping your faith strong during a time such as this?
I have really been, I'm a big reader. I love to read. I'm an English major in school. That's what I do with my time. So I have really been trying to stay in the Word because I'm a worrier as well. And so when things like this, not knowing when we're going to be able to leave our houses again, it's kind of scary and worrisome for me. And so I've really just been trying to stay in the Word and just feed myself with that. And I've been reading a couple books, just a couple different books. I like to, I'm really trying to figure out what the Lord's saying to me. So I've been trying to, put a bunch of stuff together, But I have read, this book called Spiritual Disciplines. I started reading that. And then a new book, Acres of Diamonds by Jensen Franklin, is really good. I started that today, so I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
I heard him. He came and preached that message over in Washington a couple years ago. It was so good. Jensen Franklin is the man. Jensen, if you're watching this, we love you.
Yeah, we love you, Jensen. Oh, and I like to. Been trying to stay off my phone because that is just not good for me to do that because I'll be all up on what's going on. So I will really been trying to watch just different sermons and different speakers trying to just really encourage and lift up everybody right now. Like Kevin Wallace is somebody I'm really into. Priscilla Shira, she's great too.
Yeah, that's good. That is good. Young Mike, man, how are you keeping your faith strong during a time?
I'm wondering where
like
you
this?
got that nickname, by the way, Young Mike. Did you know someone named Mike?
No, it just fit. I think if you
I
think
like it, I'll take it.
can everybody just drop a Young Mike in the comments?
Hashtag Young Mike. That's right. So it's funny you mentioned spiritual disciplines, and so for me, keeping my faith strong has been, I haven't done it consistently, but just trying to stay disciplined. Getting up at a certain time. Not necessarily you have to get up early like the students. You're not in school, so I'm not saying you have to get up at 6:30 every morning, but just to be disciplined and getting up kind of at the same time, kind of doing the same thing in the morning, and that thing is taken in the Word. I'm trying to, really the second time in my life, do a Bible in 1 year, using the handy-dandy Bible app. So anyway, just being disciplined and not letting your time control you. You have more of it. We have more of it, and so if we control our time, it kind of seems like it's stringent and it's restricting, but it really allows us to be more free and actually have more time when we control it better. So being disciplined in time and taking in the Word.
That's so good. All great answers. I would say I'm doing all of that, or trying to at least. Sometimes when in the past couple of weeks I have voiced a worry, and my beautiful wife would say, "Hey, no, not in this house. We're not gonna worry. We're not gonna fear." She keeps feeding me with faith. Something else so by me saying that, what I'm trying to tell you is encouraging you to get someone that's in your corner. Find someone that's going to keep you in your faith, someone that is going to rally behind you when they see you slipping and falling. They're going to come and pick you up and say, no, everything's going to be okay. You want to find somebody that's going to be in your corner. So for me, what have I been doing during this time is I've been praying and listening to worship and listening to messages. I think that's kind of, if you just take all of those things, I mean, that's pretty much all we can do at a time like this. Just keep feeding yourself with God's promises, and don't focus all of your attention on the circumstances. Focus most of your attention on who God is and what He has promised us. And one of my favorite scriptures is Romans 8:28. He's going to turn this together for our good. So just believe that. If you don't believe anything else, believe that on the other side of this, we're going to see God's faithfulness. So let's get to the next question. The next question is, I'm sure, this is a good one. We'll start with, did we start with you last time? So we're going to start over here with you, Anna. Anna, I am sure you have had plenty of time to do self-reflections.
Yes.
In this
Yes.
in this season of a pandemic, you can't do anything. You're at your house.
Yeah, you ain't got nothing else to do except think about yourself.
What is something that you have learned about yourself and about God?
So I love self-reflection questions. They're always fun to me. And one thing that I really feel like I have been doing over the last year is kind of just reflecting on a lot of things about my own life, you know. Just really trying to look at all the things underneath rather than what's on, like what comes out and behavior and things like that, because most of the time, you know, behavior is, you know, like your reactions to what's going on, inside, underneath. And I've really been doing some heart searching, and as I've mentioned before, I'm a big worrier. I always have been, and over the last few weeks, I've been, with everything going on, I've really just been trying to really try to work on overcoming that, because it's been such a battle of mine since I was like a little kid, and I have really just tried to learn like how to trust the Lord, because that's such a hard thing to do when there's so much uncertainty. And I do not do well with uncertainty. I mean, I would rather get a bad diagnosis sometimes than to not know, because it's just that not knowing just will.
Uncertainty is horrible.
Yes, it's horrible. And to learn that even though, you know, we're riding on these like, you know, unsteady waves, God is still going to be, you know, there to get us through it. You know, He's still going to be faithful anyway. You know, He's going to calm the storm. And, you know, it just makes me think about the scripture, you know, the Lord is fighting for you. You need to be still. Like this time we're in is literally a time of stillness, and we're all having to slow down. And I feel like that has really been something that the Lord has been trying to communicate really to me, but, you know, to be still, to not worry, to trust me. I'm faithful. I am here to do good things if you just trust me.
That is so good. So good. Young Mike or Storm?
Either.
I'll go.
Go, Young Mike.
So when I think things like this, I think that I lack compassion. And when I say things like this, I feel like people think I lack compassion. But in a situation like this where it's basically wrecking the world and it's wrecking America, I go back to the truth, the really hard truth that none of us really wants to believe, and that is, what if America is not supposed to last forever? You know, like, you know, what if America is not God's chosen nation? Israel is. Yeah. And so what if at some point in somebody's life, America is going to crumble? You know, whether it's in ours or our kids or our grandkids. And again, as I'm saying this, I'm thinking, you know, this really sounds like compassionate, you know. But I just reminded that even though God has a special love for us, He doesn't hate America. But am I making any sense? Like, America at some point is going to suffer and is going to not be the America that we know. And that doesn't mean that God is not faithful. Yeah. You know, that just means that we have to be reminded that we are, as Americans, are not His favorites. You know, and so anyway.
That's a unique way to put it, yeah.
But when it comes to me, what I'm learning about myself is, I guess it's still really about God. I have not led my life in the greatest way in the last 5 or 6 years, and so here I find myself, starting a painting business. Right now it's just me, and I can look back and say a bunch of failures have led to even though this is a good thing, a bunch of failure has led to this. But I look at it and I say, there's a lot of people that can't work right now, and I'm busting at the seams. Yeah. And so what do I do with that? And I have to say, all right, I've got work. So what can I do? How can I be generous? What am I going to do with this? Right. So anyway.
That's good. How can you take your blessing and pass it on to someone else?
Exactly.
That's good. Storm, what, self-reflection. I almost asked you the first question again. So, I will repeat the question for you, sweetheart. I'm sure you have had plenty of time to do self-reflection. What has this pandemic taught you about yourself and about God?
Well, about myself, it's taught me that I love people more than I thought. Like, I miss being around people.
I just want to hug somebody.
I know. I just want to give someone a big hug. And I'm new here, and I want to meet people, and I want to get to know them and have them over and eat dinner together, break bread, and I can't do that, and that's eating me up on the inside. But I think it's also, I'm so good about just go, and on to the next thing, and what can I do now that I'm not really great at just taking a time to sit back and just really be in God's presence. So this, I feel like, is God's way of teaching me how to be more present with Him and how to slow down. And I think on the other side of this, I'm going to be I'm going to have, what's the phrase I'm looking for? I am going to be able to choose my best yes. Like the yes that I can commit to, the yes that I am going to be able to continue to fill myself up with on the other side. So
good. Good. Yeah, similar. I think God's taught me, what I like to preach a lot is be in the now, like be in the present. The only reality is right now, but I don't really live that lifestyle. I'm always thinking of tomorrow. I'm always thinking of what is next. So I think what God is teaching me right now is, Devin, slow down and enjoy this very moment that I have given you. So do we have any questions?
We do. I was just about to say that. So if you guys are watching, please send in your questions. My Instagram refreshed, but I did have one off of memory. The one I remember from the last one before it refreshed was, are we going to be going live on Wednesdays?
Are we going to be going live on Wednesdays? I guess that's one for me, right?
Yeah. All eyes on you.
So, no, I don't think so right now. I think we're going to probably try to do it on, we might do some Zoom calls. And I do like the idea of going live from time to time. So if we do go live, it's probably going to be on a day like today. It's probably going to be on a Tuesday. And the reason that is because Pastor Johnny hosts his live event on Wednesdays. So we are actually borrowing the church's camera right now. So we won't be able to do that on Wednesdays. And it also is just, you ain't got nothing else better to do during this quarantine. So we want to give you something to do on a Tuesday
every
evening.
day.
Yeah, get a new day, something else to do.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Got something to look forward to.
Another question was, when we do Zoom calls, is it going to be everyone together, or will we be broken off by age?
Ooh, good question. So, fun fact about myself, I don't know much about Zoom call just yet. So this is what I would think. I don't know how it works, but I would think we will all be together, and then we can break off.
Yes.
2 groups.
Yes.
So let's just say we have 6th to 12th grade. I can come on, say what's up to you guys, and we can just talk for a few minutes, and I might give you like a quick devo, for example, and then we'll break off. Storm will go take the middle school, and I will take the high school. Young Mike would take some of the high school. Anna would take some of whatever. So I think that's the way, if it works that way.
I think it does. I think from what I've been told, you can do Zoom groups. If
you're watching this and you know about Zoom, go ahead.
Send
help
us
out.
what you know.
Help out. Yeah,
help
me
us out.
Give us the DM, please.
Any more?
Nope, not
Nope,
yet.
not yet?
No.
All right. Do we have any from Facebook?
I haven't received any yet from Facebook.
No text messages? Okay, perfect. All right, so good questions. Keep them rolling in, guys. Keep them rolling in. So the next question is, how do you continue to grow in your relationship without being face-to-face to people? So how do you stay, like we were saying, we love to hug people and stuff. Like, you know, we want to be in the same atmosphere, the same place as you. So how are you guys remaining, how are you growing in your relationships with other people without being able to be face-to-face with them? We'll start with anyone.
Well, lately, I have been doing a lot of FaceTimes. I did hop on a Zoom call the other day, and that was really fun. Got to see a lot of my people on there. So being more intentional, I think before this, I wasn't very intentional about reaching out to people over text or call. So during this time, I've been more intentional about reaching out to people, letting them know I'm thinking about them, getting a conversation started, because I just want to talk. I just want to talk. So,
yeah, I feel like FaceTime has just been really beneficial during this time, as well as social media. I mean, thank you for social media. I mean, it's annoying sometimes, but there are some good things about it.
I see all these old people getting on TikTok. I'm like,
yeah,
come on,
I'm
man.
like, wow, look at that.
Let the kids have fun.
Something new. But no, I feel like that is so like essential, you know, right now, you know. But I've been doing that a lot. I feel like this time's given me an opportunity to like do that more. Yes. Like I used to be like much better about keeping in touch with people, and since you know, being home now, but you know, most of my friends from school, like that's how we, you know, communicate. We, you know, FaceTime, we text, you know, but I'm not that great of a texter. So like this time I feel like I've had this extra, you know, time to just sit and, you know, be like, oh, I'm going to call so-and-so today, and just, you know, see how, you know, what their life looks like, what their quarantine looks like, you know. Like,
They were probably like that guy staring at the banana.
exactly, just like, you know. But, you know, I think it's so neat. Like, I was talking to my friend the other day on social media about, you know, Netflix, you know, give me something new to watch. You know, I think it's also important to do things like that. You know, you can still do things together and just, you know, talk about it later. You know, you can read books together, you know, order a book off Amazon together and, you know, read it as like a Bible study and then talk about it on a FaceTime.
So good. I think Joe Exotic has really brought America together right now.
I really think that too.
If you're a Tiger King fan, you just go ahead and drop it in the comments, like praise hand emojis or something.
Yeah. Or you're kidding. No, dress in as a tiger emoji.
Yeah,
just
that's
drop
it.
the tiger.
So yeah, hey, how are you, young Mike, continuing to grow in your relationships with others?
So mine has just been being able to be with the family more, so relationships with the family. And
That's
so
good.
I'm really not talking to other people anymore, but I'm able to interact with my family more.
That's good.
If that makes any sense. And so
Family's so important.
yeah, being able to be home. And
I think in this time we've learned a lot that like a lot of people have had to slow down so much that they're like, this is my family.
And it's like,
Yeah,
wow, we
yeah.
like to be together.
Yeah.
Like, this is special. Like, you know, I feel like that's kind of how it's been. Like, I am really nostalgic always, and being with my parents, just me with mom and dad, like, I love my brothers and I love it when we're all together, but just to get this time with mom and dad, to just be at home with my mom and dad, you know, like I think about, I'll cherish that so much whenever, you know, down the road, you know, to look back and be like, wow, like I got this opportunity to be at home every day with my parents and just sit down and eat dinner.
You got to spend a pandemic with your parents. How awesome.
Like,
is
I
that?
have enjoyed it. Like, I
Yeah.
love hanging out with my parents.
Are y'all playing board games and like Uno?
We're not. My parents are like working hard in the yard. You
Oh
know?
man.
And
I
I'm
would,
working hard
have
in the
a-
books. You know, I'm reading.
I would expect in the Moore's house they could have like a constant game of like Uno going on or something. So that's not.
No, see, me and Dad are really into Blacklist. You know, have y'all watched that
Yes,
show?
that's a good show.
I encourage y'all to watch Blacklist. It definitely gives me like a rush of energy. I'm like, oh my gosh. You know?
Yep. So good. So good. Cool. So do we have any more questions? Did any more come in?
Yes, so this person says, a church I know is doing a chapter a day. Could you do a study on a certain chapter and text it to students to meditate on and talk about during Zoom meeting?
That is so good. That is so good. I don't know if I would be able to text you because I don't have your numbers, but I can DM you.
Probably.
Or
Yeah.
I can talk to someone, get your numbers, or I can just DM you if you follow FWC_youth. I can DM you the chapter. That's a great idea. We might do that. And then give us something to talk about in the Zoom call. So whoever sent that in, thank you. That's a really great idea. Thank you. Any more?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right. So this is the last question. Don't be afraid. Ask anything. We need you guys to ask some questions. So last question for us, though, or what are some practical ways that you can continue to grow in your faith without going to the actual church building? And we'll start with anyone.
You go ahead. I was just going to say that, a lot of the things that we talk about when it comes to spiritual growth are, usually we talk about the big three: read the Bible, pray, and go to church, which, of course, we're talking about not, quote-unquote, going to church. And so focusing on the outward, and I think the Spiritual Disciplines book splits them up into three different kinds, right? It's like the inward ones and the outward ones. And so thinking outwardly and thinking like a contributor, thinking during this time, wherever I go, and asterisk by that word go, wherever I go, how can I contribute? What can I do? What can I give? And the reason there's an asterisk by the word go is a lot of places we can't go, but where do we usually go when there's nowhere else to go, right? We go to Facebook or TikTok or wherever else. And so when I go to those places, how can I contribute? What can I give? How can I offer encouragement or hope or just joy or whatever else, be super spiritual and this is what God taught me this morning, that kind of stuff. And so thinking about how we can, and all these things really that we're talking about are things that should apply when there's not a pandemic. And so if we think like contributors, the way that Jesus thought, everywhere he went, he contributed, he gave of himself. Even when he was with people who hated him, even when he was in places that he may not have necessarily wanted to be, I guess, I don't know, he's Jesus, but he contributed. He thought, all right, how can I give? How can I offer? We always talk about how he gave his life at the end of his life, which of course is the epic moment, but he gave his life every day of his life. And so how can we contribute during this time? What can I give? What can I do? And so, so there's that.
So good. So good. So I'm going to reread the question. What are some practical ways that you can continue to grow in your faith without going to the actual church building?
Well, we're living in a day and age where there is so many resources just readily available and just at our hands. And I mean, YouVersion, the Bible app, you can go on there. There's so many different devotions that you can start. Just a couple. Some are 3 days long. You've got some, 10 days long. 21 days long. Whatever, it's quick, easy, access there. I mean, feel free to message one of us on Instagram or try to reach out to people and, ask if they have any book recommendations or, ask people what they're listening to, what they're checking out. Be paying attention on social media, be looking out for things like this or, what's so awesome to see right now is so many different pastors and youth pastors and children's pastors, like the innovations that they're doing, and all the different resources that they're giving out and videos that they're coming out with for us to, use. And I think that's really incredible. Everybody's coming together, being like, this is what we have to use,
And there's lots of churches that have been doing that. Yeah. And now they're being discovered. Oh gosh, the Village in Dallas or North Point. And any of these guys, Craig Rochelle, all these guys, they've been doing that. Mm-hmm. They've been putting their stuff out, free resources for a decade or more. Yep. And now we've got, now I guess we're more focused on. Yeah,
we have time, but people are like, what can we do?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like,
so,
here.
And that's what I was going to say is podcast.
I love podcasts.
Sheesh. I mean, like, even whether you have Apple or non-Apple, whatever it is, there's tons of podcasts that you can download.
I think you should listen to at least one podcast a week.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
If not a day. Yeah.
And they just have them all over the place. And like she said a minute ago, if you need recommendations, ask away. And, we'll have those recommendations for you.
That's so good. Anna, you said something that I just lost my train of thought. So we'll just go with you.
We've got some questions.
Oh, we got some questions?
Yeah, I got a question here. Question, will you be splitting the age groups when you get back to regular church, when we start meeting back at the physical church?
Oh, great question. Great question. So this is what we're going to be doing. It's going to be so fun. So we're going to have 6th grade to 12th grade, but don't panic. We're all going to go in. We're going to play games. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then after the games, we're going to get into the service. And normally what the service may look like is we may do a little bit of worship, and then we're going to get into a quick message. I like to keep my messages between like 7 and 15 minutes, really quick. And then we're going to split off into small groups. That's when we will be splitting the age. So we're all going to be together at first, and then towards the end, after my message, like for example, Storm will have the high school girls. But if we have like 20 high school girls, that means Storm would take 10 of them, Anna would take 10 of them. And then we'll need obviously more people. So when the middle school girls, they would have to go to someone. And then the middle school boys would go to someone. So yes, we will split, but not from the beginning. And it'll be a lot of fun. It'll help the high schoolers to be able to pour into the middle schoolers, and it'll be a chance for the middle schoolers to just be able to interact in a fun environment. I cannot wait. I wish that it was like coming up this
Tomorrow.
Wednesday. Guys, trust me, it's going to be the best time you've ever had. I hope. So,
One more question.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, not one more, but
I hope
another
I answered your question. Whoever asked that, I hope I answered.
Yeah. Another question we have is, I don't know if you'll be able to answer this, but are there any podcast recommendations for a middle school boy?
Ooh, okay.
I haven't ventured out.
Yeah.
So where I would start on that, before you go to the whole podcast world, is start at the Bible app, because they have them categorized by age,
Yeah.
by gender,
Yeah.
by all of that
That's
stuff. And then maybe from that, you'll be able to bounce off and say, well, maybe this person has something else, or maybe this group that I'm looking at has something else, some other kind of podcast. That's where I would start from and kind of springboard from there.
Great idea.
I love
If
that.
you asked that question, can you also DM FWC_youth? I just want to get back to you later. We can do some research together, and we can find a solution for you. So please just go ahead, DM us, and then hop back onto the live video.
Yep.
Any more?
Not yet.
No more? There was one that came in through the story.
Oh, yes, we had one come in through the story. You haven't touched on this yet, but we'd been talking about starting a core students leadership group.
Right.
And people want to know what does it take to become a core student?
So how do you
What is
become-
a core student?
Yeah, what is a core student? How do you become a core student? Core students are, first of all, they are that group of students that are solid. They're the students that you can count on for anything. Every single Wednesday, they are there. They're not just there at 7 o'clock, though. They're there early, and they're helping set up. They're helping getting the music turned on, the lights turned on, the games ready to go. And then they're the ones that are hanging out a little later than everyone else. They're the ones that are helping set the place back up or tear it back down. And they're the ones that are also helping plan out the creative meetings. What are we going to do next month? How are we going to stay creative? And how are we going to stay
Innovative.
in the trend? And how are we going to keep doing fun? How are we going to make this youth ministry the best youth ministry that the Southeast has ever seen? You know, that's what the core students are going to be, those. But not only that, a core student carries the youth pastor hat off of the church campus. So when you go in through your schools, or when you're on TikTok, and when you're on Instagram, you still have the youth pastor hat on. And what I mean by the youth pastor hat on is you can't be one way in the church and be a core student in the church and then go on your Finsta account. And is that what they call it, your Finsta? Finsta is that fake Instagram that your parents don't know about,
Yeah,
but we know about.
those.
So that's not what we're looking for in a core student. We're looking for someone that truly wants the best for the youth ministry, and someone that truly wants the best for their life. I understand there will be like mistakes and all that, but a true core student is someone that is committed and they actually care about the ministry.
This isn't an answer. That wasn't really a question for me, but if I can just tag on, by way of leadership, A leader is recognized whether or not they have a position. Leadership is influence. Actually, the lowest form of leadership there is positional. And so, a leader is going to stick out whether they're being recognized for it and given a title or not. And so they're but the other side of it is, it doesn't mean they're more important. It doesn't mean they're more valuable. It just means that they're the one. Like Jesus had more than 12 disciples. Yeah. He just had that 12 that he poured into specifically.
Right. That's so good. That's so good. I really truly believe that if you're watching this, you are a leader. I believe all of us have some type of leadership in us. Any more?
Yes, so I've got a...
Keep sending them. I love this.
I've got a few more. This is a quick one, quick answer. Are the youth going to have more trips? Yes.
Yeah. That's another thing. So
Yes.
the core students, we'll have youth trips, but core students will actually get to go on more trips, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like for example, we may all go to youth camp, but only the core students might go to Motion Conference in Alabama or the Passion Conference. Don't worry about what I just said. That we'll get to that later. But yes, more trips. I can't wait. We're going bowling. I think Thomasville actually came up with this where you throw the axe at the target. We're going to be doing stuff like that. We're going to Six Flags because your boy has missed Six Flags. I cannot wait. We're going to Atlanta. We're going to be watching some Braves games. Come on. Whoever said that, DM me. We're going next weekend. Let's go. Quarantine or not, we're going.
Okay. So here's also another quick one, and then we got some really good ones too. How can youth contact you?
Perfect. Should I give my number?
I mean, I think through DM.
DM me
first.
on.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a chance for me to plug my Instagram. All right.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Follow me on Instagram.
Shameless plug.
You can DM us at FWC_youth, but that is not just me on that account. There are other people on that account. So you can also go to Devo, DEVO, _828, and that would be the best way. Just DM me and ask me anything, and let's just get in touch. And so those two accounts, but keep in mind, if it's something a little personal, I wouldn't send it to the FWC_youth account. I would send it to Devo _828.
Yes. Okay. Another question.
I love it.
I'd love it too. How can youth share the word of God or their experiences with God throughout this time where they aren't seeing friends or going to church?
You know what? That is perfect, because that is not a question that only the youth pastor has to answer. So that's a question that we're going to start. We'll start down there. Anna, tell us what you got.
Want me to repeat it?
Ask the question again.
How can youth share the word of God or their experiences with God throughout this time where they aren't seeing friends or going to church?
Well, again, social media. Let's take advantage of that.
Yep.
If you feel like the Lord has placed, some kind of word on your heart that you feel you need to share, I mean, you can do an Instagram live video yourself if you wanted to. Mm-hmm. I mean, whatever you feel like the Lord is sharing with you. We all know Instagram, you can make cool stories. You can download apps to make cool different, you can type up a cute little graphic thing, something quick of a scripture and share it on your Instagram story, different things like that. Just, it's things like that now that you can just really just kind of promote Jesus all over your social media. I mean,
You can even text your friends just some
Yeah.
encouragement.
Yes, start a Bible reading plan together.
yeah, be
just
like,
get
you can share that kind of stuff on your
Yep.
YouVersion, and people can see what you're reading, what
Yep.
you're studying, different
Whoever
things like
asked that, I'm sure they got like 10 friends that they can start a little Bible study plan together.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, that's the
I mean,
challenge.
you can still order stuff off Amazon.
Yep.
Order
So
books.
whoever sent that question, and that's the challenge to you, go ahead and get 10 of your friends together and find a Bible plan on the Bible app and go ahead and get started and share it, screenshot it, send it,
Tag us.
tag us, hashtag FWC Youth, post it on your stories.
Yeah.
We want to see that kind of stuff. If
Yes.
you're doing
Yeah,
that,
let
we
us
want to see
know what
it.
you're doing.
Yeah,
Yep.
we want to see that. Any more?
Yes, so how
Keep
can
them coming, guys. Keep them coming.
how can the younger generation read and relate to the Word of God through this time without seeing us every day?
Okay, so how can they read the Bible?
How can the younger generation read and relate to the Word of God through this time without seeing us every day? I think
Yeah, answer that, babe. Kids pastor.
Yeah. I would think, or for me, if I were to put myself in this position, one, finding a plan on YouVersion that is geared towards my age group. Not going on YouVersion and just clicking on any Bible plan. Going on there, making sure I find something that specifically says for junior high, for high school, because when you find something that is specifically for your age group, it's going to make the most sense to you. So finding something that's specifically for your age group. Also, let me reread it again. I think reaching out to us anyways. Like, if you have questions, we're here for you. And this is your first time seeing us, so now you know we're here for you. So reaching out to us if you have questions, like if there's something you're reading and you want to know a little bit more about it, reach out. We want to be there for you through this time.
And to add, this is also where, and you said it, but this is also where finding those podcasts and those Bible studies comes in, because those who are leading that Bible study or that podcast, they're going to help you put feet on it. And also finding translations of the Bible that are more readable. Now, I will say to only read those would be a problem, because they're paraphrases. They're not word for word or whatever. But to use those, if you come across, like if you use a regular translation of the Bible that is like semi-readable, like I don't know, the NIV or what, NIV is very popular. And you come across a part where you're like, how exactly does this work in my life? Well, then you click over to like the Message, and you read the same verse, and you're like, oh, okay, well, this kind of walks it out for me a little bit better. And so also, prayer is really important. Also, taking in the Word and praying are like partners. In fact, I think the Spiritual Disciplines book says that. But praying, saying, all right, God, I'm going to read this, and I might not understand all of it, but if you just tell me how to put feet on some of this. And it's not going to come immediately. And I think when it comes to reading the Bible, I think it was Jefferson Bethke who said, you take in the Word every day, and a lot of times it's not very memorable. It's just kind of like a snack, kind of like a protein drink or whatever. Mm-hmm. But every now and then, if you stay consistent and disciplined, every now and then you'll come across this time of reading the Scripture where it's like a prime rib, where it's like a memorable meal. But it's all about being consistent, taking in the Word, and asking God, what does this look like? How can I do what this is saying here?
So good. Please tell me we got more.
We got another one.
Yes.
We got another one. If you are new to Christ, where in the Bible should you start?
Ooh, right. I love it. Pastor Johnny, are you here? Nope. Oh, man. I would, where I started was the book of Ephesians. But I can't tell you exactly where to start. I definitely can tell you I wouldn't recommend starting in Genesis or Leviticus or anything. I would,
or Revelation for that matter.
I would start there yet. I would encourage. Just do that. Since I started in the book of Ephesians, I challenge you to do that. Go ahead, go read the book of Ephesians. It's 6 chapters. I challenge you in the next 14 days, read the book of Ephesians 3 times. That's all I challenge you. 3 times. That's like, what, a couple chapters a day? That? Yeah, so.
I have a little side note. This is like a little reader's tip, English major tip. It's really important when you're reading things or, you're in your Bible, if you think about, you read a scripture or a verse and you have a thought, write it down. Or you like a verse, underline it. You like it, highlight it. It's really important when you're reading and to stay engaged while doing that, by taking notes. And if you have so I like to keep a journal with me, and so I'll write extra quotes from there. Or I'll write what I think, this says from there. Different things like that are also really important to kind of make it your own.
Yep. We need.
Well,
let's just do 2 or 3 more questions.
Yep, but I have one recommendation.
All right.
Pastor recommends reading a proverb a day.
Proverb
a
a day.
and a psalm a day.
Isn't that
yes.
the saying? A proverb a day will keep the
The devil away.
The
I don't
devil
know.
away, something
Well, there are
like that?
31 proverbs, so you can, there's
Literally.
either 30, 31 days in a
Yeah.
month, so you just read one a day. And you also do that, you accompany it with a psalm. So you just read a proverb and a psalm a day.
Yes.
Awesome.
So proverb a day. Start with a proverb a day.
Let's do that.
I love
Let's
that.
do that. We got just a time for let's just do 2 more questions.
Well,
Or do we not have 2 more?
we don't have 2 more questions.
We have one more?
No.
Somebody needs to
Two
ask
more
one. Let's go.
questions.
I know.
All right,
someone
guys,
needs to
we
ask
got
one.
time for one more
I
question.
think someone was. Yeah, I don't. I was just making sure I didn't miss, but I don't have a question.
All right. Well, perfect. That's fine.
That's okay.
We'll just end it like right now. We'll just end it. So that was fun. It was a really good time. I'm glad you guys got to see us once again. My name is Devin. I am the new youth pastor here. I'm so honored to be able to be your youth pastor. I'm so excited for what's to come. If you have any cool ideas or things that you might want to see your youth group, because this is your youth ministry. So if there are any ideas that you want to see in your youth group, DM us at FWC_youth. And don't forget to share the page, because we want to get some following on that page. We want people, the community, to see that page. And also we want you to win that gift card to Mr. Chick.
We just got a live question.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Live question.
When is our next live video?
Ooh, when is our next live video? All right, so let's do this. And before I say a date, I'm going to talk to some leaders, and we're going to try to get this together. I will put out on the story. I'll put on the story tomorrow 2 dates and let you guys. No, I don't know yet.
We'll figure it
We'll
out.
figure it out. I was going to let
Maybe
you guys
next
vote.
week.
Maybe next Tuesday. Who knows?
Yeah.
If you like these, if you like this, if you enjoyed this, let us know. Share it on Instagram and just let us know. And if we get some good feedback, then we might keep this going. But do we have more questions, or should I continue with the conclusion?
I mean, I think just tell the people how they can get in contact with you again.
Yep. All right, cool. So, yeah, like I was saying, I'm so honored and I'm so excited, but this is your youth ministry. We want you guys to have that gift card, so share the page. Let's get the word out that FWC Youth is here, and we're taking over Cairo and South Georgia and Florida and Alabama. We're taking over. No, but how you can get in contact with me is Devo_828. That's my Instagram. I'm more active on Instagram than I am on Facebook, so just DM me there and I'll get back to you. But I have to say, I'm the world's worst at getting back to you, so just be patient. I will get back to you. And yeah, and if you have any questions about the youth ministry, you can also go to FWC_youth. But tonight's been fun, guys. Thank you
Yes,
guys
it
for
has.
joining us, taking time out of your Tuesday to come here, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that if you were watching this, I hope that you were blessed by the things that we had to say, and we cannot wait to do it again.
Yep.
We love you guys. We can't wait to see you again, but until then, be blessed. Have a great time in your quarantine. We'll see you soon.